Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Parashar. Welcome back to the channel. And today we will learn how we can use a Java code in a SOA composite. And if there is a scenario, if the business logic that you're working on and you think that you have reached to a point where SOA components are not good enough and you need to use something in Java, either it's a customized class, it's a class written by you, or it's an out-of-the-box API given by Java, whatever that is, and you need help of Java code to achieve the business logic. At that time we can use a Java code, a methods functionality in our SOA using a Java embedding activity. So today I will give you a simple demo of it, and probably in my next session I will go and do a rather complex activity or a complex example of Java embedding activity. So let's start so that you guys will learn about the Java embedding activity. So I have created this application, Java embedding demo app. Let me create a project here. So within this demo, what we will try to do is, this will be a hello username demo, but rather than using the assign activity, we will do that using the Java code. So let me create a synchronous beeple process which takes a string and sends back a string. So if you see in the Excel, we have process under which we have an input string and we have a result string, and under the beeple we have got receive activity and the reply activity. So now first of all, what I want to do is, it's not a mandatory step, but it is sort of it makes your life easy, it makes things simple for the developer. I will create an input and output variable for my Java also. You can give it a relevant name as per your business. However, just for simplicity, I will give Java input var and Java output var, and that will be of string type. Again, I want to emphasize on this fact that it's not a mandate step, but it definitely comes in handy if you do that. Here we go. So now what I want to do is that user will give me a name and I want to return hello and that name, the concatenation of that. Usually what we did is, previously also, if you see our entire SOA tutorial, we have gone from installation to hello program and then further to the more complex stuff. So if you'll see our hello program video, you will see that we just put an assign over there and use the concat function, return it, it will be a hello program. But at this moment, if you have followed our SOA tutorial series, I know that you are well versed with all the basic concepts of SOA, and now we are moving into some of the moderate level of complexity in SOA or intermediate level of SOA learning. So rather than doing that, what I want to do is, whatever input that I'm getting from the user, which is of an XML type, I'm converting that into a string and putting that into a Java input var. So you can do it directly through XML also, but again you'll have to use the XML parser for that, and I try and avoid that. So input into the Java input variable. Okay. And now you must be thinking that I created an output variable also. So this output variable, we will assign that in the Java code. Okay. So let me assign here whatever the output variable that my Java code will return. I want that to be assigned to the output variable of my service. So let me do that. So at the moment there is nothing in output variable. I'm just doing this mapping, and now here I will use an activity called Java embedding activity. There is a JavaScript activity also. Probably when I will go further into detail of REST adapters, I will show you that where I have used JavaScript activity to parse JSON object into JSON string or JSON string into JSON object. Here, Java embedding activity. Now here, this is more like a notepad for you where you will do the coding, because when the IDE were not invented, like Eclipse, NetBeans, this JDeveloper, people used to do code in notepad only. So you have to make sure that the syntax that you're putting in is exactly the syntax of Java. So if you're not well versed all the syntax, use an IDE, copy the code from there and paste it over here. But today we are doing a very simple activity just to show you how Java embedding works. So I'm just going to write it for you, that the concatenation of the input variable that we have created. Okay, so let's start. We want a string variable. This could be of any name, right? But let's keep it as Java output var. This is just an internal variable that we have creating in our Java code at the moment, so it does not have to have this name only. It can be of any name. I'll explain you that later. So this variable, I want this variable, and I want hello to be concatenated with the input variable that I have created as part of this service. So to get variable from Beeple, we use an operation, we use a method called get variable data. And that variable name should be in quotes. That's the catch. I mean, I have seen many people struggling to get the variable from Beeple, but they forget to put these quotes here. So Java input var. We'll have to make sure that this is exactly the name with the proper casing that we are putting, else the Java will not be able to read that input variable. So now we have a variable, Java output variable, where we are concatenating hello with whatever the input that we are getting, and now we want to give that variable back to the Beeple, right? In Beeple, if you see, we have assigned this variable with the output variable. So for that we have a method called set variable data. So getter and setter are like very common terminology used between Java developers, but if you don't know that, that's absolutely fine. All you need to worry about is this get variable data is used to get the data from the Beeple, and set variable data is to set something to the Beeple. So let's do that. So now whatever we put in quotes should match the output variable that you have created, and here this variable can come. So if we put string s here, then there it should be s, but you can keep both as same also for your convenience. So I think this is it. The Java code is done. It should work. We'll try deploy it and test it if it is working or not, and once it is working, I'll show you a few things how you can put system.out.println so that you can monitor when your Java embedding is starting, ending, and what is the data that is coming out of it. And probably in my next tutorial I'll show you a bit more complex example than this. Okay, so apply, okay, and let's deploy this service. It says code is expected. Okay, maybe we have forgot to put the code over here. I'm sorry about that. And that's what I said. I mean, if we were doing that in IDE, we would have given a syntax error. So apply, okay, and let's redeploy it. Let me clear this. So now deployment is completed. So let's go to the Enterprise Manager and test this service. So guys, this is the service, Java embedding demo. Let's test it. So it replied, hello Sanjay. So let's check the flow trace also. So under here, as we know, we got that into the Java input variable, and then this Java embedding activity got executed. So it simply says that it has been executed at such and such time. It does not give any further detail to it. But here if we see it, we know by this that it replied hello Sanjay, because that's what we assigned. However, if we want to do certain monitoring, certain logging into the Java embedding only, like we do in the Eclipse, as a Java developer, we do use system.out.println quite a lot to debug if we do not want to go into that debug perspective. So for that, here we can use add audit trail entry is the method that we use. So let's do that also. So suppose on the top only we will put add. We'll have to make sure that syntax is correct. So here the Java embedding started, here the Java embedding ended. And before setting it, if we want to see that what we set over there, we can also do that. For example, we say something like this. So again, this is purely Java. So we have put one starting audit trail, one ending, and one whatever the output that we are getting. Okay, so let's apply. Okay. Again, it's definitely recommended to use try and catch in Java embedding, so that if there is some exception comes, you should be able to see or view that what exactly the exception came in your Java embedding. I will teach you guys that in the next tutorial. Okay, so this is also deployed. So now let's go back to our service in Enterprise Manager. Here, let me again use something like this, James. I'll test it. Result is same, but now let's check the Java embedding activity. So as you can see, it started at 14.6.36. I mean, it's pretty fast because it was a very basic code that we have. Good, but the audit trail is coming right now. It started, it ended, and output string is hello James. If you put try and catch, and if something goes wrong in your Java code, it can also show you the message, exception message that has came. So this was very important activity, very important topic in SOA, that is called Java embedding, how we can use Java code in a SOA composite. The irony is that there are not many tutorials of Java embedding on YouTube, so I thought, okay, let me make this one for you guys. And in our next session, I will take a use case more complex than this one, and will also show you what else you can do in your Java embedding activity, like try, catch, and all those sort of things. Thank you so much for your support, guys, and I really appreciate your time. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.